I'm Craig Trnka, and we're here at Chad and Susie Chance's place in Pilot Point, Texas, the home of Hoofwatch, who is the sponsor of Match Play this year. And we've teamed up to bring a series of videos to you, and today we're doing the live shoeing specimen for Madison, Wisconsin. We have the Eggbar. It's a hind Eggbar. It's a left. It's fit up for an E5 Slim. It's quarter clipped. And it's got two features in it that make it pretty unique. It's got a bit of concave on the inside, and it tapers off after you go past the heel nail. And the toe is a set toe. It's supposed to measure 5 1/8 by 6 inches. We're gonna have to bump the Eggbar just a little bit because we're gonna do some forging in the toe. And if we don't bump the toe, we will end up not having enough material. And it's an Eggbar, so it could get racked really easy because the way you weld it and the way the edges will roll around. So we're just gonna not commit, but commit. We're gonna put our center punch mark up on edge, and then that way, if we need to move the toe around a little bit, we don't have that unsightly center punch mark sitting off to one side or the other. What we're gonna do is mark it dead center of 13 1/2, which is 6 3/4. Just gonna put a little bit of a bump in there before we turn it, just to give me a little bit of material, but we're still gonna need to make the shoe grow, so I don't wanna put a lot of effort into getting the toe way too big. You can see that this branch is shorter than this side, so I'm just going to come in here and make this the longer branch. Seat it out real good. When I got to forge edges, it's got a bit of a safe toe and it's got a concave. So before you ever run those edges, you really want to flatten it, because if you don't flatten it, you'll never get the section back. I'm gonna use the bick of the horn and I'm gonna lean. Well, if I just hit I'm just gonna shift the whole rectangle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold it at an angle, but my hammer blow has gotta come in to where it's perfectly flat with the exterior edge. So I'm going here and I'm just overlapping blows, and I'm trying to hold everything to where I'm touching both sides of the rectangle at the same time. Then what I'll do is I'll come in here and I'm hitting the same side, so I'm not just shifting everything. All right, you can see a lot of material. If I were to flatten this side, I would swell this side, which automatically makes it counteracts what I just did. So I'm gonna make sure I'm on the foot surface, and my hammer's gonna smear, and that's gonna pull and make my toe safe, and it's gonna make everything come out. So I'm actually making it like a bevel right now. That bevel, and I've actually got my toe is safe, started to be safed. I've still got plenty of material in the toe. Pushing with that corner, and I'm actually just gonna bring that on down. Then you can take your quarter bend, the reason that I don't really forge the branches is because I'm gonna try and shape it and forge it. And if I make it the size I wanna make it right off the bat, I'll be wishing I had this material to shape it and forge it and make it come to size. As you can see, I've got half a shoe. You don't want to hit hammer on horn. You want to make sure that you got a little daylight, so I'm not just pinching material. Bring it all the way around. You can see that I'm actually making that back thicker.
When it's thicker, then I'm not worried about the back cracking off. Come in here and scarp it. And then find my quarter bend. I'm hitting that bottom corner to make that branch longer and this branch shorter, and then bring this quarter bend in. I think it is worth your time to heat up and do like a pre-weld, which is wire brush it good, bring your scarves together, and bring it up to heat instead of just trying to rush it at this point. Just using either the toe or the heel, I'm just pulling all those little pieces together. When you're welding, I'm taking this branch and I'm hitting it down. That flips the tail of it or the weld of it up, then come right in the quarter area, hit it down. Flipping the back of it up, and that compresses all your material in the back. Light taps and get the scarves put together. Just tapping those together. And with an Eggbar, then you come in here and push it right together there. And that gets those big chunks of junk in the center, and it also pulls that outside together. You can see I've already got a little bit of a lump in the center. So I'm just gonna come and pry my tongs in there and take a pull back towards me. Lock it in there. Do that a couple times and I've already got the beginnings of my frog plate. You can see how everything's chunky, not really any acute bends in it. And I've got just a subtle frog plate. I'm gonna take the big side of the bick and just kind of lean the shoe a little bit. And then on this side, lean the shoe just a little bit. I need to grow 3/8 of an inch in width and 1/2 inch in length. The way I'm gonna do that is, this shoe is a left hind. So I'm gonna, now I wanna make it into a left or a right. I'm gonna make it more of a pronounced quarter on the lateral, which is the right-hand side, and more of a straighter quarter on the left-hand side, just so it would look more like a foot, a hind foot. On this side, I'm just gonna, again, put a little bit of more of my safing in there, so I'm just leaning the shoe, going out to the heel nail, and then gradually standing the shoe up. And when I say perpendicular to the horn. Coming in here and flattening. And you can see I have a nice concave edge going on there. This will be my medial, so what I'm gonna do is, so I can use the advantage of the bick, bigger side, I'm gonna hold it in this direction, and I'm just gonna come up. You can see I'm almost hemming at the same time as shaping. And I think I've done enough forging right now that where my shoe won't be racked, so now I'll commit to my fuller end. And it is faster to make shoes a half at a time, but sometimes you speed up at the end of the shoe if you just take your time to keep your shoe from getting racked in the first place. Now we just punch each side and we're rocking on. Go out to the quarter. It's a quarter clip shoe. Remember that you want to stay up where you're above your quarter or close to your quarter. When you pull it, you get everything changed. It's the perfect time to wire brush because you've stressed everything out and your steel's about as clean as it's going to be. Come in on this back edge and just kind of tidy up your section. Do the other side. Again, just hemming it. And then coming over the top and keeping everything square. Getting this back edge. When I say this back edge, just getting that sharpness off of there and creating some flow. Taking overall heat, just kind of got everything cleaned up. Get all my junk off of there, all the remnants of welding. All right, this is my outside branch. So I'm just gonna put my quarter in my outside branch. This is my inside branch, just kind of sweetening up those inside. And then go from the quarter forward. Kind of busted everything loose. Now, I'm safed in the toe. Look where my fullerene is. I'm going to safeten the toe. Coming in here like this. Got to lean it like crazy. You can see where I got this edge pulled up and that edge pulled up. And now a good flattening will expand this side and leave that side tight, which will exaggerate both of those aspects. So got a nice source hole. Get your body out of the way and just make it easy for your hammer to just drop. Just kind of clean up the edges on my fullerene. And now I'll just kind of rasp my lines in it. Come here, clean up my fuller end and my filed it, and we're just gonna clean it up. I'm just getting all the debris off of it and give it a good flattening over and a checking over.